Hello and welcome to the first episode of What You've Been Listening to Lately. I'm Nolan from Give Me Grace, and tonight I have my special guest, Marcia, joining me. Um, we've been excited to bring Give Me Grace to you, Corky and I, and then tonight we wanted to try something new that hopefully you'll enjoy, and we can also get your feedback and your input um, as we go through this process of sharing with you. We're each going to share 5 songs that we've been listening to lately. So as we go through, feel free to make comments in on YouTube, and then um, eventually, if you want to also do a video of what you've been listening to lately, then you can email me at nolanmickelson@gmail.com, and we will set up a time to record an episode with you of what you've been listening to lately. So I'll start off. Um, I've been listening to, and I think Marcia has been too, but uh, my niece, Meg, and her husband, Jack, are in a group called La France. It's spelled Lafrantz, and they have a new song out called Rattlesnake. And it's pretty catchy. They have a music video that's on YouTube that goes along with it. And it's one of those songs that it just kind of pulls you in, and the beat to me is what's really cool. And then um, I don't know if you want to say anything about the song.
I really like the lyrics. The lyrics
Right?
kind of hooked me right away.
So Rattlesnake by La France. Check it out if you're looking for some new music. How about you? What's your first song that you've been listening to
So,
lately?
my first song is All Too Well by Taylor Swift. It's the 10-minute version. And this is a song I've been listening to a lot, mostly in the car because I get sleepy sometimes on my commute coming home from work, especially in the afternoons. And so I'll turn that song on. It's 10 minutes. So if I listen to it twice, it gets me home. Most of the time when I driving home from to and from work, I listen to a podcast or an audiobook, but I can tell when I'm getting kind of tired, I need something to like keep me awake to make it home. And so it's 10 minutes and it's a song that I really I like to belt it out, and luckily no one's in the car with me, so I just sing it at the top of my lungs. And it keeps me awake and make it home. And so I listen to it twice. I have a 20-minute commute. And so anytime I'm feeling sleepy, that's the song that I turn on. And I mean, it's got really good lyrics. I like one of my favorite lines is autumn leaves falling down like pieces into place. And I'm always looking for like a simile or a metaphor or some kind of figurative language in the lyrics that I listen to. So that's one that really um, mostly in the car that I listen to it.
Okay.
Mhm.
I apologize if you can hear Morgan in the background, our dog's in here with us. But my second song that I've been listening to lately is it's a medley by U2, my favorite band, of course. And it's kind of a re-release, I guess you'd say, or a new release of a live version of these 3 songs that was recorded in Boston. My favorite song, Bad, and 40, which is a song that they usually use to close their concerts, and one of their most popular songs, Where the Streets Have No Name. So it's really technically one song, it's a medley, but I get a chance to hear all 3 of some of my favorite songs of theirs. So it's a really good version if you're looking for some U2. If you like U2, maybe you didn't know that this came out. It's a it's a new release. I listen to music through YouTube Music. I also listen to U2 X Radio on Sirius XM. So obviously they play it on that as well. But yeah, Bad 40, Where the Streets Have No Name medley, live from Boston by U2.
So my favorite band is Neon Trees. I'm wearing their T-shirt today, and I've been listening to them a lot. I have a Neon Trees playlist going on that I listen to sometimes. But one of the songs I like the best is called "Songs I Can't Listen to," and it's really good because I feel like, and this is true with a lot of their songs. of Neon Trees that I feel like it really tells a story. Like you could almost write a whole book about the storyline that is in the lyrics. And this one, I'm just it's like I want to read a book about it, like what's going on with this story. He's singing that there's a list of songs that he can't listen to. He says, and it's all because of you. I've got a list of songs I can't listen to anymore.
Mm.
And so I want to know, first of all, like what happened, what was the breakup, and what are these songs that he can't listen to anymore because of, this breakup that he went through. So that's just I just want to know more about that. And it's really catchy, and it's one of my favorite songs by Neon Trees.
Should we tell them that we went to the Neon Trees concert in Austin? Was it last year or was it a year?
It was
It's
a
been a
year ago,
while.
September, I think.
Yeah,
We went to them. That's where I got the T-shirt, and
we were front and center.
yeah, I made us go really early. I think we were like 2 hours early to make sure I could get like right there in front of the stage to watch them.
What's the guy's name again?
Tyler Glenn.
Tyler. And we got Tyler's towel that he uses to wipe the sweat off his face.
He threw it at me and I caught it, and so I got his sweat on my towel.
But we really like Elaine too, their drummer.
She's really good.
She's cool. So.
Mhm.
All right, good. Number 3 for me is not a new song, but it's a song just I kind of started listening to again lately. It's by a band called The Church, who are an Australian band, and one of my bands that I really liked in the 80s, 90s, early 90s, I guess you'd say. And the song is called Tantalized. And the reason I love that song is the driving guitar. It starts out right from the beginning. The Church are known for their guitar play. They basically have the lead singer plays the bass, then they have two guitarists. One plays a 12-string guitar, and it's just amazing guitars. So if you know The Church, the band from Australia, maybe you've heard this song before. If not, this could be new music for you, and it's timeless to me. So even though it's from the 80s, you might enjoy it as if it was brand new. So Tantalized by The Church is my number 3.
I love how you talk about like the bass guitar and different things because I think like each of us has something different that, calls us to a song.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's not instrumentation. I think it's because I have a bad ear as far as like instrumentation goes. And for me, it's really about the lyrics. I think it's because I'm a writer. I'm always looking for like how words are put together to make songs, to make books, to make anything. And so lyrics are really like what calls to me. And so this next song that I picked is called Spaghetti Tattoo by the Plain White T's. And Plain White T's wasn't really a band that I followed very much, but we went to a concert. It was Daughtry,
Goo
Goo Goo Dolls, and Plain White T's, but we were mostly there to see Daughtry. And so that's kind of how we got
Goo Goo Dolls.
And Goo Goo Dolls, but mostly Daughtry. But we got introduced to Plain White T's through that concert. And then I was like, oh, I really like their sound. I'm going to listen to them some more. So Spaghetti Tattoo is it just came out just this last year, I think. And it's some of their songs kind of tell a story like Hey There Delilah, which is not a song that it's not one of my favorites, but it tells a story as he's singing. And that's how Spaghetti Tattoo is. And he's talking about meeting, this girl after they've been like communicating, DMing, and then they finally meet and, they really hit it off. And there's a line that I really find interesting. He says, don't know where it's going to go, but it feels good not to know. Mm-hmm. And it just is kind of, it makes you think back like when you like first fell in love and you didn't know where things were going, but it just really felt good in the moment and you wanted, like kind of see where it was going to go. And it just, like really like sends me back to that time. Mm-hmm. And I just really like the song. It's a good song.
Another guy that we got to meet.
Oh yeah, we got to meet him after the concert when I think Daughtry was playing and he was just like walking around, and so I got to get a picture with him.
Yeah. My number 4 is another, I don't know, I guess technically it's 2 songs, but it's listed as one song. Head Over Heels / Broken by Tears for Fears. It's from the songs from the Big Chair album, which is from the mid 80s, early to mid 80s. But another group that we got to see in
Mhm.
concert recently. It's funny how all these bands, even though they've been around for a while, are touring or maybe even coming out with new music. But this is probably my favorite Tears for Fears song, even though many people like Shout or Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Uh, Head Over Heels Broken is my favorite. It goes from the song Head Over Heels, which is a beautiful song with beautiful lyrics, and then it transitions into Broken, which is to me an amazing instrumental section or piece that is a continuation of the song. So again, I think most people are familiar with their big hits, but if you don't know this one's kind of a big, it was kind of a big hit, but if you listen to Head Over Heels slash Broken together, you'll see, this great transition from a beautiful song into a kind of a more upbeat instrumental piece. So number four for me, Head Over Heels slash Broken by Tears for Fears.
My next one is from one of my favorite bands growing up, Bon Jovi. And we just recently watched a documentary
That's right.
because I had kind of forgotten about Bon Jovi, but watching that documentary just kind of brought it all back to me,
Mm-hmm.
listening to him when I was in high school. And one of my favorite albums of all time was the New Jersey, Bon Jovi's New Jersey album. And I'm from New Jersey, so I grew up and that was like, everybody listened to Bon Jovi. And um so from that album, my favorite song is Born to Be My Baby. That one has so many good songs. That's my favorite go-to Bon Jovi. And I hadn't really listened to him for a long time, but since we watched that, I've been listening to the album and um, has so many good songs. But I love this one. There's a line that really gets to me. He says, "Only God would know all the reasons, but I bet he must have had a plan." And in the story, he talking about the love of his life, and they were it was like table for two on a TV tray, just something simple, like they were didn't care about like the big important things. It was like we're just eating together on this TV tray, and that was like the best thing in the world, just to share that together and like feeling that love. So that is a song. That's one of my all-time favorite Bon
Yeah.
Jovi songs. Mhm.
And it's funny, before I met Marcia, I was very anti Bon Jovi. But watching that documentary, and I'm not as anti Bon Jovi as I used to be. So I I admire their what they came from and how
Mhm.
they made a band and the fame that they had. But did you see the video that he helped a lady yesterday or the day before?
Oh, no, I saw something about it. I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to look it up
yeah.
because I heard something.
So apparently he was walking along a bridge and a
Oh,
lady was on the bridge preparing to commit suicide, and
wow.
he basically helped her come down off the bridge. And
I'm gonna read about it
yeah, it
because I
was really
haven't.
an interesting story. So
And one thing too I love about his story is that he married his high school sweetheart and they're still together, what,
yeah,
30, 40 something years later.
right.
And that's so rare to see in that industry. And how they've like just been together all that time. And
Yeah,
that's really admirable. So that's yeah, someone I look up to.
yeah. My number five is "Don't Give Up" by Peter Gabriel. Um, I've kind of been diving into Peter Gabriel's music again recently, along with our son Omar and my brother Blaine. And so I think I've realized that that's my favorite Peter Gabriel song, "Don't Give Up."
Mm.
Even though others are really good songs as well, he has a lot of great songs. But to me, the meaning behind this song, the lyrics, and then to hear the duet between him and Kate Bush when they recorded this, just the amazing way that the male voice and the female voice play off each other. Um, it seems like in the song he's kind of depressed or struggling, and then she's the one always like
Mm.
positively bringing him back up. Don't give up. You know, we all have friends and so forth. And I think it's a song that's resonated with from the time it was put out till now. Even now, it has a good meaning behind it. Like when things are tough, um, we can't give up. And so my number 5 is Don't Give Up by Peter Gabriel.
My last song is another Taylor Swift song, Cornelia Street. And that song I really like because um, it has a metaphor in it that I really like. We were a fresh page on the desk, filling in the blanks as we go. And I'm always looking for like a really good metaphor, and that just makes a song for me. And there's another thing that I really liked in that song is I was reading a book about craft about writing, and it talks about how when you are writing a book, you have your opening image, and at the end, the closing image has kind of like gives you like reminds you back up to the opening image, so it kind of like goes back to it. And she does that with her lyrics. So she says the same thing at the beginning as she does at the end. She says, I was in the back seat. I rented a house on Cornelia Street. I sit in the back seat, something like that. And then the exact same lyric at the end. And it just kind of like, brings it all back to the beginning again, opening image and closing image. And that really just like stood out to me. And so I'm always looking at lyrics. I think that's for me, like if the lyrics have some kind of figurative language or metaphor or simile or something like that, it's just like makes me like pay attention and listen to it.
I love lyrics too. They're important, and they can really hook you into a song as well. Mm-hmm. I like both. I like to be able to hear the lyrics. Sometimes if lyrics are what's the word? You can't understand the lyrics.
Unintelligible.
It's like, what in the world is going on here? But sometimes the music overpowers that if the music's good enough. But I think it takes a good balance to have a great song, both lyrically and musically. So.
It's funny though, because I think you probably laughed at me. My kids laugh at me because I'm like, I need to hear lyrics by like the 15th, 16th, 20th second by the latest. And then like some of my kids listen to a song and it's like takes 30, 40 seconds to get into the lyrics. And I'm like, no, I need those lyrics right away.
I like the build up.
Yeah. And see, that's what it's like different for everybody.
The music to come in and build up to the lyrics. But that's the great thing about music. And I think as we do this, what you've been listening to lately, we'll discover that everybody's got different reasons why they like different songs, different artists. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. So thanks for joining me, Marcia.
Yeah, that was fun.
We hope that soon episode 10 will be coming out. And again, if you want to comment in the YouTube channel about these episodes or this episode of What You've Been Listening to Lately, if you like what you've been listening to lately and you want to do a What You've Been Listening to Lately episode, send me an email at nolanmickelson@gmail.com and we'll see if we can set up a time to do it. So we are going to sign off and thank you again for watching.